Generally, the idea started with it started with the political situation in our country, with the prime minister and the government that was standing before the new one, and then we had elections, and that guy was moved, and the situation during COVID. We had all these curfews and masks. Sometimes you couldn't even go into a store if you had not had COVID, or if you're not vaccinated, or if you didn't have a test that was, older than 48 hours. You couldn't go to a store or a gas station. It was insane. So I was thinking, how far can this go? How far can these governments push us with repression and oppression and so on? So I kind of thought of a worst case scenario that could happen in our country. Then a little bit of the influence was the war in Ukraine. Because if you think about it, it's not that far away. Everything could just implode at some point, and we could be affected by it really quickly. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this general story that can be applied anywhere, and kind of the message was that this can happen to anyone. So references. When I started developing this screenplay, so it was interesting. The study process should have gone like this. I should have had a screenplay finished, and I should have started working on directing this screenplay. Doing the shot list and so on. But in most of the process, the first semester of third year for me was actually working on the screenplay and on the story, on the world building, and so on. So there was a few films I would like to mention that had a pretty strong influence. The first one is probably Children of Men by Cuarón. That was a very strong influence. Another one would be 1984, book and film. Let me remember more. No, I forgot. I had this whole list. Yeah. Those are kind of the main two films that influenced me here. As far as world building, the strongest influence was Children of Men. So maybe that would be the main reference film. I didn't want to bring to the audience like this strongly futuristic feel and look to the film, but I wanted to bring it that it would feel like today, and that's the feeling that Children of Men gives me. Okay, we know it's in the future. There are some things in the world that are different than today, but that's what I wanted to bring to the audience. For me, was that when we see this world, it's pretty much like it is today. Trying to tell the audience that this could be really pretty close. It was pretty crazy. We had a huge cast, a lot of people. I think there was more than 10 people, more than 10 cast, which for a student film is a lot, The crew was larger than usual. We had fight scenes. I had a chase scene where we used a Steadicam, so we had a Steadicam operator. For the fight scenes, we had a stunt coordinator and a specialist for combat on film. We kind of put these functions together. So these two people, who were the stunt coordinator and the combat on film guy, they were both part of the special forces unit that appeared in the film. So the 6 guys in the end were all the people, all the special forces guys. So we had a few scenes where they appear. There's this chase scene and 2 guys appear. They were also in the other scene, but you can't tell because they have these masks on. Well, it's always exhilarating when you get the idea. It's torture and torment when you're writing the screenplay and you're on like the 9th draft and you're completely frustrated. At one point, you do not know you have no healthy judgment anymore. You just need to. At that point, when I was like in this 8th or 9th draft, I started sending the screenplay to other people because I was like, people in the industry and stuff, and even a producer in Slovenia. And I said, look, I need feedback because I'm lost. yeah, you're blind to certain things, and that really helped me. The interesting thing is that, that's where you have these, you think about boundaries, with the relationship actor-director. And this was maybe the first time where I worked with an actor and I actually had to really push him. And I really felt bad about it, because I went there, we did it like 2 or 3 takes, and he didn't let it rip like he did in the last shot, right? So that was the last take. He was extremely tired and frustrated because I was pushing him so much, and after about 2 or 3 takes, I just told everyone, look, give us a couple of minutes, and I said, dude, I really need you to go all out here, I can give you 3, 4, or 5 minutes, everyone gets a drink, everyone gets a coffee, and then we go at it again. He didn't need that, he just then said, okay, I'll push myself over the edge a little bit. That was maybe the most difficult part. I enjoy writing. I'd say that now, but I enjoy the rewarding, process. The process is tormenting, but the reward in the end is worth it for some reason. Every time I wrote, and at one point I said, I'm never going to write again. I'm going to have other people write for me. Then when I saw how rewarding it was when we finished, it was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to writing. So I would try and find a writer who would take most of the load off of my shoulders, but I would still be somehow the supervisor of the entire thing, I like building my own worlds and having full control. That's why I get back to writing. It's like I said, it's a topic that interests me, and I'm in early stages of development of a full feature.
So yeah, that would be like your passion project then.
Probably would be my passion project. I mean, I would try and make it official and have it also, co-funded by the Slovenian Film Center. We probably will sign up for funds pretty soon. So it's not going to be just like a passion project, like low budget. We're going to really try and do a finance production with co-production as well, because the idea for the feature is I can't say anything more, but the idea for the feature will need, it's not even a question, we're going to need co-productions with neighboring countries.